Hey, what's up, Salt Lake City dog owners? I'm talking specifically to you guys in Salt Lake City, and we're talking about leash walking today. Now, before I get into leash walking, if you haven't already, and you're watching this video on YouTube, go down below this video. There's a link in the description, and in the link, you can sign up for a free 10-part video training course on. We're going to cover a ton of stuff from leash walking to destruction to bad doorbell manners to jumping to aggression and all sorts of good stuff. And so now in this video, we're going to show you how to get your dog to stop walking, pulling on the leash. It's going to take you just a few minutes if you do it the right way. But like I say, make sure to go sign up for that free video training course so you can see how we do things if you're looking to hire a dog trainer in Salt Lake City, or if you're not, you're just looking for help. Same thing, go down, grab that free course, and we'll be talking with you soon. All right, guys, so we're gonna work on what we call the crazy man method. Let me explain it, then I'll show it to you, but it's a way that we can get the dog to stop pulling pretty darn quick. And you know, we've seen lots of dogs that in 5-10 minutes, they're not pulling anymore. And in a second, I'm gonna explain how you can use that to work on things like aggression, to work on actually destruction, like destroying your home. This is gonna help with that. Things like reactivity with other dogs, barking and lunging and stuff like that. So it's not just to get your dog to walk well on a leash, which is super important, but it's gonna have other benefits too. So the method we use is, we call it the crazy man method. Now what the crazy man method is we're gonna tell this guy, come on. You can tell your dog, heel, come on, let's go. It doesn't matter, the word doesn't matter, it's what we do with the word. I'm gonna start walking, and if he's with me, great. I'm just gonna keep walking. Now where I want him is right next to my side. I want his shoulder, you know, at about my leg. He's got a little bit of a food allergy. Give him a break. That's why he's itching. So I want his shoulder at my leg. Now what's going to happen is, if he goes ahead of me, instead of me pulling back, most people do that, right? They pull back on the leash, but dogs have what's called opposition reflex. So if you pull back on a leash, it almost pushes the dog forward. And you can see a lot of people in your neighborhood walking, and they're pulling, and the dog's just pulling as hard as he can. And so we don't want to pull back. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like an about face, go 180. If I'm going this way and he goes ahead, I'm going to go that way. If I'm going that way and he goes ahead, I'm going to go that way. If he goes left, I'm going to go right. If he goes right, I'm going to go left. And so what he's going to experience from this is, man, I go this way, he goes that way, I go left. This guy's crazy. I got to watch out for him. And soon he realizes that the only place he can watch out for me is just right by my side. And so that's how we can quickly get a dog to walk well, you know, on a leash. This guy isn't the biggest puller in the world, but it's really the concept that I want to get across to you guys. So I'm going to tell him, come on, good boy, don't too far, come on, good boy, what a good boy, too far, come on, good boy, come on, that's a good boy, yeah, good boy. Lots of praise when he's doing it well. Good boy. Oh, there we go. Good boy. Come on. Oh, good boy. Yeah, buddy. Good boy. Good boy. You see, that time I turned. Oops. The previous time I turned, and he just turned with me because he was actually paying attention. That's too far. Come on. Oh, good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. So, you see, he loses focus. He goes ahead. I'm going to just make an about face, little tug, go my new direction. Now, this is one reason I like the training collar. Now, in an entirely different video in this training series, I get into, you know, which training collars to use. But this is why I like this training collar, whether it's a small dog, big dog, middle dog, whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't have to use a lot of, you know, correction. I can just use tiny little taps, and it's enough to grab the dog's attention. We can go the new direction. Let me just do another quick second. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. You see, he loses focus. I just change direction. Good boy. Come on. Yeah, buddy. Good boy. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. That's good focus. And so, this is a dog that's new to training. Like I say, he wasn't the biggest puller in the world, but he's new to training, and you can tell he didn't have any focus. 2-3 minutes of this, he's already got some focus. So I want to explain to you here in a second how you can use this to fix some of the other stuff. So stick with it. All right, just a quick cutaway here to talk to our Salt Lake City folks on just how important this concept is with leash walking. Most of our clients are in two boats. You know, they live Utah County, Davis County, Salt Lake City. And so they live in an area where there's a lot of people, dogs and distractions and stuff like that. but also most want to kind of get in, you know, go up the canyons or go out the West Desert, or, you know, they want to have the ability to have the dog on leash and listen. This is one of, I say this being Salt Lake City, even though I'm not in Salt Lake City, as you can tell right now, on vacation. This is one of the most important things that Salt Lake City dog owners get down, is having great leash manners. So pay attention, I mean, do everything in this, make sure you're taking notes. Just want a quick breakaway, quick cutaway to remind you how important it is for us specifically in the Salt Lake City area to get this down. All right, guys, so that crazy man method, as you do it, you're gonna start getting your dog to walk better and better and better each day. Now, this has one of the biggest, what I call collateral effects of any dog training command that you can do. What I mean by a collateral effect is you do it right now and it helps something entirely unrelated. So I've had dogs that, you know, we start teaching them how to just walk properly and the destruction goes away. They stop chewing, they stop digging. And now, I can't promise that with every dog, but lots of dogs, this is a big piece. If they're getting walked like this every day, they actually have to focus, they have to pay attention. And so in the act of focusing and paying attention, their mind gets a workout, their body gets a workout, and their desire to chew and dig becomes much, much less. So this can help or even sometimes fix destructive behavior. For dogs that just aren't super respectful of their owners, this is a very good way of getting, you know, good leadership. You know, the dog becomes a literal follower as he's walking along with you. You know, for dogs that have aggression issues, like if your dog is walking perfectly, he can't be lunging at other dogs over here. He just can't. He can't be lunging at kids or bikes or whatever. And so teaching this thing has tons of different collateral effects. So no matter what you're dealing with, now if you're in this series so that you can learn about aggression or hyperactivity, this is one of the absolute best things that you can do in order to help build this foundation on which we can get rid of almost all bad behaviors. Like I say, whether it's aggression, reactivity, destruction, anxiety gets better through this, leadership gets better, all that stuff gets better. So make sure that you're working on this every day, because it's going to be something that helps you with everything. Even if you think your dog is like, well, my dog doesn't pull, but he just walks up a little bit ahead, even that dog, do that, because this fixes so many other things. Even if it's a little guy and you're not worried about a little bit of pulling, this is something that's super valuable. So work on this. All right, Salt Lake City dog owners, if you haven't already, go down to the description section. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to grab the entire 10-day course, because I'm going to teach you a ton of amazing things. But hopefully you enjoyed this on leash walking. This concept done right, you can get dogs walking on a loose leash, oftentimes in minutes. So go down, grab that course so you can get the rest of the information on how to train your dog. And let's get your dog to stop pulling on a leash.